Zone 3 training has a reputation problem. Sports scientists sometimes call this the gray zone, the intensity that's too hard to allow proper recovery, but it's not hard enough to produce the maximum training stimulus. You might have heard zone 3 called junk miles or junk training because it feels like you're working, you're putting in a lot of effort, but you're not actually getting any result from it. Some coaches will tell you to avoid zone 3 almost entirely. Popular podcasters will say life happens in zone 2 and zone 5, just train those. And they're partially right. Accidentally grinding through zone 3 when you're meant to do zone 2, that's a real problem. You're accumulating fatigue without the full benefit of either zone. But here's what those same coaches do with their best athletes. They deliberately, intentionally, strategically work in zone 3 or at the very top of it for extended durations at specific points in the training week. This is called sweet spot training. And done right, it might be the single most time efficient tool for raising your anaerobic threshold and building race pace endurance. I'm Coach Chris from Catalyst Fitness in Sault Ste. Marie. This is the Catalyst. Let's talk about zone 3. First, zone 3 sits between your easy aerobic pace, which we would call zone 2, and your hard threshold pace, which we would call zone 4. It's roughly 70 to 80% of your maximum heart rate. Now, if you're not sure how to calculate your maximum heart rate or how to get into zone 3, see our other videos on this channel or just subscribe and you'll get everything that we produce. Zone 3 is the zone where you can speak, but only in like really short sentences. So you're kind of gasping, can't tell a joke, that kind of thing. You're working hard. It's definitely not easy, but you're not at the effort where your legs are burning and you're counting down the seconds yet. If you're doing what's supposed to be a zone 2 recovery ride and training your body to burn fat for fuel, and you drift up into zone 3, then you're getting a diluted version of both. Your zone 2 fat burning adaptations don't happen as efficiently. Your body isn't recovering well, and yet you're not going hard enough to generate a strong zone 4 or 5 stimulus to change. So you've done a lot of work, but you're getting a tiny return on it. And that's the gray zone. It's an unintentional zone 3, usually happening because the person didn't keep their intensity controlled on what should have been an easy day. Sweet spot training is the opposite effect. It's zone 3 on purpose, zone 3 chosen deliberately at the highest end of that zone, right at 80% of your max heart rate, right where it borders zone 4 for sustained efforts of 20 to 60 minutes. And the research on this is solid. At this specific intensity, your body can actually use lactate as a direct fuel source, which trains your lactate clearance system to become more efficient. You're raising your first lactate threshold, which is like the true ceiling of zone 2. And over time, you can go faster while staying aerobic. You're burning less energy and even burning up the stuff that's making you sore. It's the same zone, zone 3, but you're getting a completely different outcome from the training, depending on whether you're there on purpose or not. So here's what happens at sweet spot intensity. And this is the top of zone 3. Now, back in zone 2, your body is predominantly burning fat and operating fully aerobically. But as the intensity starts to creep up into the lower end of zone 3, you start recruiting more type 2A muscle fibers. These are the ones that can operate both aerobically and anaerobically. So there's no such thing as fast twitch and slow twitch muscle fibers exclusively. Your muscle fibers exist on a spectrum from slow twitch to very fast twitch. And the type 2A fiber sits kind of in the middle. It can work aerobically, it can work anaerobically. These fibers are critically important in endurance events, running, cycling, swimming, skiing, because when your slow twitch fibers get really tired late in the race or the long effort, or you've been going for a while and you get to a hill, it's the type 2A fibers that have to pick up the slack. They have to do the work. And at sweet spot intensity, which is the upper end of zone 3 into the very bottom of zone 4, you're training these fibers to become more aerobically efficient. You're teaching them to use lactate as fuel rather than just accumulating it. And critically, you're doing this at an intensity that you can sustain for much longer than a true zone 4 interval. You can hold these sweet spot intervals for 20 or 30 or even 60 minutes, and that gives the fibers extended time to adapt. So the type 2A fibers are what we're trying to train, but we're also teaching your body to use lactate for fuel and buffer it instead of just accumulating it until you collapse in pain. Now, in cycling, sweet spot is precisely defined as 88 to 94% of your FTP. That's too complicated for most people watching this. But the runner's equivalent is roughly holding the pace that you can hold for 60 minutes. And you can do the same thing with skiing. You can do the same thing with cycling if you want to. You can do the same thing with skating or swimming. It's the fastest pace that you can hold for about 60 minutes. And that pace, held for a sweet spot interval, is working at exactly the right stress to recovery ratio. It's high enough to stimulate meaningful adaptation, but it's low enough that you can recover within 24 to 48 hours and come back and do it again. Tadej Pogacar, who's just winning the Tour de France right now, has described this type of training as foundational to his preparation. Long sustained efforts at just below threshold that build the engine before the race specific intensity work begins. There's a couple ways that you can do this. And the first one is this long sweet spot interval. This is the most straightforward. You're wearing your heart rate monitor. You pick a sustained effort at the top of zone 3, just below 80% of your maximum heart rate, and you hold that for as long as you can with good form and controlled breathing. You start off with 2 sets of maybe 20 minutes with a short, easy recovery, 5 minutes off between them. And over weeks, you build that up to a single 40 or 60-minute sustained effort. Going longer in zone 3 is where the best adaptation happens. And this is what makes it different from zone 4 work. Zone 4 intervals are typically 4 minutes, maybe 12. It's as long as you can maintain the pain, basically. Zone 3 sweet spot intervals are 20 to 60 minutes. And the extended duration is the point. You're not trying to go as hard as possible. You're trying to sustain quality effort for a long time at a specific intensity. The second format is over-under intervals. And this is the structure that Tadej Pogacar favors in training. It's one of the most effective formats for training lactate clearance specifically. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to spend 3 to 5 minutes just below that threshold. So, 175 or 75 to 80% of your heart rate max. Then you're going to push into zone 4 for, just 10% above your threshold for maybe 1 to 2 minutes. And then you're going to come back down. And then you're going to repeat. So you're going to hold high zone 3 for about 5 minutes. You're going to go up to zone 4 for a minute, and then you'll come back down to zone 3. What you're doing physiologically is you're forcing your body to accumulate lactate during that over phase when you're in zone 4, and then you're teaching it to clear that lactate during the under phase when you're back in zone 3, while you're still working, not during passive rest. This is a very specific trainable skill, and it's what separates athletes who fall apart when the pace fluctuates from athletes who can surge and recover and surge again. Practically, you want to pick a route or a structured interval block where you're holding a solid effort, push slightly higher on the climbs or the hard sections, and then settle back to threshold on the recovery. It should feel controlled throughout, not like an all out and die effort, but never completely comfortable either. What I see on the bike, especially, and on running too, is you're going along fine. It's really easy. You're zone 2, barely zone 3, maybe. You hit a hill and everybody attacks, and boom, you're in zone 4, zone 5. And then at the top, they all die and they collapse. If you're on your own, what you can do is you can pick a course with hills. You can watch your heart rate closely. You can stay just below zone 4, so high into zone 3 for most of the ride. When you hit a hill, you tick up 10, 15% effort. Bring your heart rate barely into zone 4. And then after the hill, stay at zone 3. Don't just coast. Don't just die. Stay in zone 3. Learn to buffer that lactic acid. The first minute after you're done with the zone 4 and you come back down into zone 3, that's painful. That's your body processing like an assembly line, burning through that lactic acid. But it will clear, and this will really help you long term. So there's 3 things for training zone 3 effectively. First, use it once or twice a week, not every day. Sweet spot training requires 24 to 48 hours of recovery, so it's not a daily tool. One well-executed 30 to 45-minute sweet spot session is way more valuable than grinding through zone 3 for 5 days in a row. Treat it like a real training stimulus. Give it a day of zone 2 or rest on either side. Second, start with 2 20-minute blocks and build up to 1 60-minute block. 2 20-minute sweet spot intervals with a 5-minute easy recovery is a classic entry point. And once you can hold quality effort through both intervals, then you start combining them and lengthening them. So go for 30, then you go for 40 minutes, and then you go for 60 minutes continuous. Don't increase the intensity, but increase the duration instead. And third, if you're doing over-unders, keep the over phase short. The 10% time above threshold should be like 1 to 2 minutes, not 5. The adaptation comes from the repeated clearance cycles, not from going as hard as possible in the zone 4 parts. Going too hard over your threshold turns the session into zone 4 intervals, which is a different stimulus entirely. Zone 3 done accidentally, it's a gray zone. It's junk miles. It's fatigue without the full benefit. Zone 3 done deliberately at the top of zone 3. The sweet spot training is one of the most time efficient tools in endurance training. It raises your lactic threshold, it trains your type 2A fibers to more aerobically efficient, and it teaches your body to clear lactate, that waste product, and use it for energy while you're still working. 1 or 2 sessions a week max, 20 to 60 minutes controlled effort. That's the sweet spot. At Catalyst, we program Zone 3 as part of a structured weekly mix. Not every day, not accidentally, but at the right moment in the right week to drive real adaptation. If you want to see how it all fits together, book your free no sweat intro at catalystgym.com.